everybody. Welcome to Lunchtime Detroit Lions Talk, presented by the Detroit Lions on the Prowl and the Belly Up Sports Network. Today, we're going to talk about the Lions actually having a running game. I mean, it's years in the making, but I think this could happen. We'll see what we all think today. And but before we get into all of those things, got to bring in one of my co-hosts, the main man here, the man of steel himself, Curt Steele.
What up, though? Welcome to the show, people. You know who we are. We are Detroit Lions on the Prowl, your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors. And as always, join the family. Subscribe to the channel. We don't got fans. We don't got viewers. We got family. And it's all love right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl. And you know we got the main course, your comment cards, dessert with your man Curt. But first, my man down at the bottom of the screen, who? Mike Jones.
What's going on, Lions fans? It's your boy Mike Jones here, and we're about to get into this today. Let's go.
Hey, let's get this thing started
right now.
There you go.
You heard him.
Welcome back to the show, people. Now we're going to talk about the Lions having a running game.
What?
We haven't had in a long, long time.
Yeah.
Say what?
Jim, tell me what you got on the Lions having a running game this year.
Ooh, Dan the Man Campbell and his cohort here, Brad Holmes and his cohort, Dan Campbell. Not really sure how that works, but they brought in a tight end from the New Orleans Saints, Josh Hill, and that dude can block. We haven't had a really just a blocking tight end in a very long time that I think of. I know TJ Hawkinson can block, but TJ Hawkinson's a weapon. TJ Hawkinson could go out there and ball, and that's what we need from him. We need somebody that could come in and clean up a linebacker or block a safety or, chip somebody at the edge so that, we can get a little bit of run in the game, a little bit of space for DeAndre Swift and possibly Kerryon Johnson and maybe another running back that we'll talk about later. But I honestly do think that we have an opportunity this year to have a really good running game. We have a pretty good offensive line. You run to that left side, I think you're good. You stick that dude on the left side, I think we're going to be okay with all that. So I think it's a return to smash mouth football. I do. I think it's going to be a lot of run heavy, play action offense. But the thing is, like Dan Campbell had said, if we need to run the ball 20 times because they can't stop it, we're going to run the ball 20 times. If we need to pass the ball because they can't stop it, we're going to pass the ball 20 times.
Yes.
We're going to create mismatches, which we have with Hawkinson, which we have with DeAndre Swift. We have a decent offense, and Jared Goff needs that play action. So I'm going to kick it to Mike first this time.
Yes.
Mike,
yes, man.
Mike has some big news. Let's do that first.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
What you think about.
Yeah. So I just recently was named the new defensive line coach at Jackson Northwest High School. So yeah, I feel it, man. I'm hyped about that. Yeah, man.
Defensive line coach, Mike.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They about to be aggressive this year. Believe me. That aggression is my middle name.
They're going to be aggressive in the running game this year for the Detroit Lions.
Yes. I think so. I think they're going to find the missing piece on the right side of that offensive line.
Yes.
I think that's what's key because the right side is the power side. That's the side that's the run dominant side that, it's not really on the line. You think of the left side, but the right side is traditionally the power run side. So I think they find that right tackle. They kick Big V in the guard. But the key to all of this is Deuce Staley. Deuce Staley showing DeAndre Swift the ins and outs of the game like Deuce Staley knows it. And Deuce Staley helping rejuvenate Kerryon Johnson.
Yes.
Back to that rookie year. He can, I know some people say he's got some knee problems and, he doesn't have to be that full-time guy, but if he can get his confidence back, which Bob Quinn sucked and Matt Patricia sucked out of him, it'll be good, man. It'll be good.
Curt,
definitely.
Curt, what do you think about this and this running game and Deuce and all this
Deuce
stuff?
Staley's okay. Now let's talk about Josh here right quick. All right, and then I'll move on to do steady. Josh Hill, coming into the Detroit Lions, a little bit older guy, been in the league a little bit wild, but he knows his job. He does the dirty work. That's what Dan Campbell says. He's the guy that grinds. He does the dirty work on the offensive line as a tight end. He's not a big weapon in a passing game. He can catch, but that's not really his forte. However, he was ranked 7th among tight ends in the league in run blocking. So that is something that we haven't had a tight end that's ranked that high in the league in run blocking in quite some time. Now, let's move over to Deuce Staley. If you haven't checked it out, go over to Pride of Detroit, their YouTube channel, and check out the interview he did with those guys over there. He has some interesting things to say about the running game and what his characteristics are for what he wants in a running back. And one of the things he says, he wants someone who has a good knee bend. He said he doesn't want a guy who bends at the waist because they can't not see what they're hitting. So when they have contact, if they're bending at the waist, they can't see what they're hitting. So they can't have a good change of direction, another characteristic that he likes. So if they're bending at the knee, they can change direction and explode out of the contact, not like that you can when you have your head down when you're running. Another characteristic, the last one, so you got a bend at the knee and you have change of direction, and then what the player does when he doesn't have the ball. He says that, blocking is key. So, doing the dirty work back there, protecting the quarterback. And he says he sees all of those things in both of the running backs that we have right now with Kerryon Johnson and DeAndre Swift. So those are the things that he looks for as the running backs coach. And he wants to bring some of those things. And he listed probably the best to ever do it in two of those key categories with change of direction and knee bend was who? Of course, number 20, Barry Sanders. So he mentioned Barry Sanders. And Barry Sanders is still part of the organization. So we'll see if he can give some tips to Deuce Staley to get those guys to that knee bend and change of direction so we can get those guys to the next level. He promised to take DeAndre Swift to the next level. And I'm so excited to see that. And Josh Hill, again, he's a Dan Campbell special. He reminds me of Dan Campbell.
He does.
He does.
Doesn't he wear the same number as Dan Campbell? Does he wear 89? Or did he wear
wears
89?
Yeah.
Did Dan Campbell wear 89?
Hey, yes, he wore 89.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
89 is his number. He wore the same number. So I am interested to see Josh Hill kind of playing like Dan Campbell, who did the dirty work and things of that nature. But what you don't know about Dan Campbell is that his first year in Detroit, he put up some really good touchdown numbers. I think he had, it was like 8 or something like that, or somewhere around that range, something like that, touchdowns or something like that, or whatever it was. It was like the best tight ends touchdowns that we've had in Detroit in a long time. In his one of his first couple of years in Detroit. So Dan Campbell, he wants that guy who does the dirty work, and he's got it in Josh Hill.
He does.
Wow, I did not even realize that, Kurt. That's news to me. That man, okay, I'm excited.
Hey, Jim gave me some homework this weekend. He gave me some homework yesterday.
I was like,
okay, that explains it. That explains it.
Jim gave me some homework, so I have to do some research.
Okay.
So Jim, what you got, man?
I'll tell you what, this whole thing with the running backs, for me, I've wanted this for a very, very long time. You know what I mean? It's been, how long has it been? Has it been since Javid Best or Bush? I can't remember when the last time we had
a 1,000-yard runner.
1,000 yards runner.
Bush.
It's been since you rushed Bush.
Yeah, Bush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a long time. That is a long time.
2013.
But that wasn't even really a run. I mean, it wasn't a 1,000-yard back like a 1,000-yard back supposed to be. It was like we had a 1,000-yard back, but it was still deficiencies in the run game. I still feel with Reggie Bush. It was like an accidental 1,000 yards or something, man.
Right.
Like
he'd break off a great run and then he'd be stuffed for 3 or 4 plays.
Yeah. You look up and he's like, he got 1,000 yards for this.
Yeah, right.
But the Lions went 5 years without a 101-yard rusher. 5 years. It's so bad. This running game has been so bad for years that our quarterback has had to carry the load. And now that we have Jared Goff, he's capable, but he needs these other things.
Right,
He needs a running game. He needs a defense. And Coach Mike will be breaking down some defensive line players later on, and when we get some more shows going on. But yeah,
man,
amazing.
You know what though? Do you guys remember when we had the first 1,000-yard rush? I mean, the first 100-yard rusher in the game. Do you guys remember that? Who it was when we finally got it? Carry on. You remember they were celebrating like Garrett Blunt was celebrating.
Like they won the Super Bowl or something. It was crazy.
Right.
But I got something that is new from Val, and so we have trivia questions going on in the groups, in Facebook, and on Twitter. And so the winners this week of the trivia challenge is Pete Ledesma and Chris Firmino. They won the football challenge this week. So I just wanted to give a shout out to both of those guys on the show. And speaking of shout outs, right now we're going to go to the Wall of Fame, and our, you know what, it's so good to have members and people that really support the channel. We appreciate you guys. We got on the first tier, or our bronze section, Bubba Bo, Midwest Lion, Detroit Drew.
Bubba.
Yes. And on our silver level, we have Nomish J. And on our top tier level, we've got Gridiron Blitz, Randy Prince, Dr. Detroit. Oh, one more new member before I forget, that's at the bronze level, is Art Allen. So thank you for joining, Art Allen. And all of the people that have rocked with us, we really appreciate each and every one of you. All you have to do is click the Join Now button, and you can join that family right now.
Right now.
So next up, we have the Detroit Lions news and rumors for today. First things first. And I really like this article because I want to have some positivity going on in Detroit for the first time in many, many years. Brad Holmes, is he setting up the Lions to be successful? Well, in this article, yes, he is. This Lions team will get worse before it gets better. We told you that. But building up a number of draft picks and future cap space is the best way to turn things around. And Brad Holmes is doing just that. He got away from a high price wide receiver. He did not use the tag on Aquara. He traded Stafford for 2 first-round picks. All of this stuff is to rebuild this team and to eventually turn this into a consistent winner. What do you think about this, Curt?
I really like what he's doing. You look at it, it's not taking the same approach where it's like, and you're not forcing it. You know, sometimes you get general managers come in, the new guys, and they force it. They make moves that to the detriment of the team, trying to bring in big names and, you know, big players and free agency. So they make these splash signings and end up killing the salary cap. And it's not what you want to do when you kind of or rebuilding or retooling, or however he calls it. But he's taking a long game approach to it where let's build it, let's get younger, let's get faster, and let's put something on the field that in the future the Lions and the Lions fan base can be proud of.
Oh yeah. I think that Dan Campbell has taken an approach sort of like the San Francisco 49ers. I think him and Brad Holmes are kind of taking that approach. Just building a roster through draft picks, and you can just tell when you look at 2022 and 2023 how they're loading up and they're getting top heavy in that first round, and you can bet if Goff is that quarterback, if he can prove to be that guy, there's gonna be some trades going on in some of those first round picks with those extra picks, man. And I like it, man. I just like the direction that they're going. We're going to build up the core, and then we'll acquire a free agent here or there. But we're going to build up the core so that the core of talent here in Detroit lasts longer than a year or two, and these guys can play, man. And I like Spielman being the head and selecting. I mean, it's all love here in Detroit, man. It's all love, baby.
Yeah, right now it's positivity and blue Kool-Aid right now for me. I'm starting to drink a little bit. I gave it up for a little while, and now I'm going to be back to drinking it again. Jared Goff will be the all-pro quarterback by the end of the week. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey.
Just kidding. I had to do it.
Yeah. All right. Rumors suggest how the Detroit Lions can have interest in running back Tevin Coleman. Coleman played collegiately at Indiana, so he knows the Midwest, where he was a unanimous All-American. Soon after he was selected by the Atlanta Falcons, he was part of that two-headed monster down there in Atlanta in the running back position. In the third round with the 73rd overall pick in the 2015 draft, 6'1", 210 pounds. He's only 27 years old. He's, not considerably old, but a little bit older for a running back. Good pass catcher as well. Good highlights, saying he got some good vision and burst when he's healthy. My issue is with him is that, especially the last couple of years, he's, missed some time. He's only had one full season in the NFL where he played all 16 games.
Mash unit.
So let's kind of look at his games played. I pulled it up here. So if you look at his career, right? So he came into the league at 20. Make sure I get this right. So he came in the league at 2015. He played 12 games. 2016 he played 11 games. 13 games. 2017 he played 15 games. 2018 he played 16 games. That's a full season. Then 2019 he played 14 games, and last year he only played in 8 games.
So he still played more than the wide receiver we just got.
Right.
Well, yeah.
Man,
that guy missed the whole season with that torn labrum.
Right.
But he's had considerable time on the shelf.
Yeah.
Now, listening to, I do kind of do my homework on, those things, and that he fits the category of what a lot of teams may do this offseason, where they sign a veteran player who's had a good career, and maybe they've had some injuries and they might take a lesser contract just because of the fact of what the market is for that player, with the COVID and everything and the salary cap being what it is. So he fits that kind of category where, he may not get the money he would normally get. So he may be one of those guys that maybe in that second wave of free agents to really get signed.
Man,
Mike is shaking his head no the whole time.
I'm gonna tell you, yes, man, because I just don't like it. I think Coleman he's long in the tooth and running back years. And then we got Kerryon Johnson that does what Coleman can do. So we got Kerryon, so we can just draft a guy in the later round, 5th round, 6th round, maybe getting undrafted free agent. We don't have to go back and get something that used to be a decent thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like trying to get a playback. I don't want that. We're gonna rebuild. Let's rebuild the correct way.
Yes.
And fully. Let's not do it, but let's go back and get this. Nah, man. Let's wipe it clean. Wipe it clean, man. Wipe it clean. Yeah, no woolly mammoths. No No saber-tooth tigers. No teeth down here, man. You know what I'm saying? Man? We gotta wipe the slate clean, man. So he's not a bad player. Don't get me wrong, he's not a bad player, but he's just a situational player. If you're just looking for a situational player, then go get one in the draft.
That makes total sense to me.
Makes sense.
Mike, I think this too. I think that like you're saying, are we trying to invest in a MASH unit here or what? What is going on, man?
Oh, I don't know.
Their love of injured players just boggles my mind.
It really does, man. But let's go on to some news that I don't know if it really shocked the NFL world, but it was when you read the headline. Just reading the headline, and Drew Brees retires. Wow, it seemed like Drew Brees has been playing for a long time. He has actually been playing for a long time. He's been playing for about 20 years.
20 years.
So,
20 years.
yeah. But he had a message on Instagram yesterday. Brees' children announced their dad was retiring to spend more time with them. I seen the message, and
it was cool.
And you know what? The thing is, man, is all his kids is young. Drew Brees waited to he waited to live his life, didn't he?
Yeah.
It's
they vacated and everything before they had them kids.
Right. The NFL is lost, is the kids' gain. Total respect for number 9. And you can't, nobody can say anything about Drew Brees. You know, maybe the little comments that he made like last year, but I mean, and man, scratch all that. Drew Brees is a Hall of Famer. Drew Brees is a model citizen. He helped rejuvenate a city that was devastated, and he helped bring a championship to that city. Drew Brees was one of the top 3 quarterbacks for the longest of time, top 5 probably his whole career. So shouts out to Drew Brees, man. Hey, I like that. I love that guy, man.
I can relate to him. Like I relate to what his kid said, just for the fact that it's kind of the same in the military. We have that same type of. You really don't see your kids. You know, some people wait, or like for me, I didn't really get to spend a lot of time with my kids growing up because I was always gone or deployed or, you know, missions or, you know, work or whatever. So I could understand where his kids are full of joy because they get to spend time with their dad. So, and that was, you know, me and my son that has autism. We spend a lot more time together now because, you know, I'm out of the military. So I can understand where they have that joy that, you know, they get to see dad every day and, you know, get to hang out with him and, you know. So, but shout out to him, Hall of Fame career. You know, I've had my bumps and bruises, you know, with Drew Brees and everything like that. So, yeah, some of his, you know, things that he said, I understand what you're saying, Mike. But, and what I will say this, I'll give him his due when that stuff did happen. He did, you know, talk to his teammates and, you know, really try to find out what was going on. And he's really helped rebuild, like you said, New Orleans, coming even from, the Katrina, you know, things of that nature. He really helped rebuild the city of New Orleans, and he was a vital part of that. And he vows that he's not leaving New Orleans. He's going to stay there. So he's going to help continue to rebuild that community down there in New Orleans.
He's a great player. Off the field stuff, I don't, you know, particularly care for, but on the field, man, oh my goodness. I mean, taking the New Orleans Saints from the Aints to where they were in bags over their heads. And saying and writing in pen Aints instead of Saints, and then bringing them to a Super Bowl. I relate that a lot to Detroit, and when they won a Super Bowl, I was like, "Oh my God, there's hope."
Yeah, because they had their trash bags on their heads too. Remember that?
Yeah, just like us.
Yep. Paper bags over the head saying Aints. Yeah, I remember that vividly, and then. He brought him to a Super Bowl. You can never take that away from him. Never.
Never.
Yeah. All right. Hey, now it's time to talk about what you had to say about Friday's show. Hey, and let's send a shout out to everyone. Our Friday numbers were great. We really appreciate you checking out the video on Friday, man. We appreciate that. But Jim, you up first, my man. What you got?
Devin Cook says Micah Parsons is a freak athlete. But Jock is all around a better linebacker. And I do agree with that. I don't
JOK is better.
who would you guys pick if you had the choice? If you had Micah Parsons sitting there and say we traded back, Micah Parsons sitting there and Jock is sitting there. That's the linebacker out of Notre Dame. I ain't attempting to pronounce that name. We're gonna go with Jock on the show. So
Neither. I choose Zayvon Collins.
I knew Mike was going.
Yeah. Hey, listen here, Jim. Listen here, Jim. He's 6'4", 260 pounds, and he excels in coverage.
Yeah.
He excels at 6'4", 2. So Ziggy Ansah excels in coverage. Man,
yeah.
Come on, man. You can't.
Did you see? Can I ask you? Can I ask you something? If you've watched film of him, have you seen him take some plays off?
I think we've seen every player take plays off. I
don't know because Jock to me doesn't take plays off. That dude has a motor like I've never seen. Well, I have seen. I'm just saying he just continues to play and goes after people, and I like that about him. I think that I almost like him better. I know that Collins is a freak athlete.
He is. But the thing is, I just don't like about him is he's like in the middle of that cornerback safety size.
Yes.
Like that size in the NFL, in that size.
He is light.
So that size in the NFL, I don't know if he can I don't know, man. If Derrick Henry hit that truck stick,
yeah,
I don't know.
we already have a lighter, and I know they're trying to re-sign him. Look at Reeves Maven. We already have that type of lighter, linebacker on the roster. Aaron Glenn said he likes them big, fat, and fast that can run down the field. So,
Savion Collins,
you might be onto something, Mike.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, Mike and Chris G. What up, fellas? All right. I believe there are 4 numbers no one should ever wear again. Okay, he says number 20, Barry Sanders, Lynn Barney. And I would have to say Billy Sims because his injuries just, but man, my first memory being a Lion fan was Kung Fu Billy kicking the old dude in the chest down there in Houston. That was a great play. 22, Bobby Lane. Okay. 56, Schmidt, I know his, that injury, All right. And then at number 4 is number 81, Megatron. I can never see anyone wearing number 81 ever again for the Detroit Lions. So I agree with that list. What do you guys think about that list? We got 20, 22, 56, and 81. Mike and Chris G said they don't think anyone should ever wear those numbers again.
It's only 4 numbers. I could deal with retiring those numbers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's not an
those is what I'm well, we have more, we have 7 retired,
That would be 11 numbers out.
We those 4, man, we have to have the criteria a lot higher to have somebody's number retired. That's the problem is. We think like, if they were a great player, the number's retired.
So what's higher?
To be honest,
what's higher than Barry Sanders?
No. I agree that those 4 names right there should be retired.
Yeah, I agree.
But you can't make a couple Pro Bowls and I'm like, retire his number. Like, no, man. Like, no.
Well,
there's an argument for Stafford, to be honest,
because he
broke all the records,
every freaking passing record, including some NFL passing records that he holds. To be honest with you, Calvin Johnson maybe should have never have gotten a chance to wear 81.
Explain that, Curt.
Night Train Lane was a absolute monster.
Yes, he was
in the NFL.
Yes, he
was. But the only problem he had is that he did not play his whole career in Detroit. He played a few seasons, but he was an absolute beast as a Hall of Fame corner in the NFL. So, so that's why I say that, maybe he, that was one of those things where he may have, so other teams, he may not have gotten a chance to wear 81. But Night Train Lane, man, bruh, that dude brought
you can make the argument for a lot of different players, but I think that
those guys,
I really liked when they did that thing with Charlie Sanders and Hawkinson. I might be one of the few people that liked it. But I just think that it does put a lot of pressure on a rookie. If that rookie is something else, like that person is special. Okay, I don't mind. I don't mind carrying on that tradition.
But like there's a few numbers in the league, that people you wouldn't see want to wear them in that jersey for that team.
Yeah. Right. I agree with these 4, by the way.
Yeah, those 4 I believe.
Yeah.
All right, what you got, Mike?
All right, man. Steve Gatlin says the trip to see Trey is a smokescreen, I would imagine. Trading back is a snag.
Trade back and snag that Notre Dame linebacker.
Yeah. You know what? Okay, Trey Lance might be a smokescreen, but you know what? The thing is you got to take the best talent available, right? So if Trey Lance is there, I think you got to take him. Maybe because if you take him and you build him up, you let him sit behind Goff, and then you assess it. Goff becomes an expendable trading piece. Or if Goff succeeds, then Trey Lance becomes an expendable trading piece. So I see where that can be, and but I also say that it's a good move by Detroit Lions because now you don't know, right? Nobody knows now. So it's not like Bob Quinn, like No, he's our quarterback. Like, now,
yeah, I know. And then sign a backup.
Yeah. So I think it was good for them to do that. So they did the just due. What you guys think?
Yeah, I think he had an excellent workout. I believe he put on a nice little show. Good arm strips, had some good touch on the ball.
Yeah.
It makes it interesting. But what you got, Jim?
I like me some Trey Lance, but I would love to pick him, but I just think I don't know. I've been on this train for a while, but I'm starting to jump off a little bit. And here's the reason why. This is no disrespect to Trey Lance. I love Trey Lance. But I'm thinking, shouldn't we build the team first? I mean, shouldn't we get the rest of the team built up first? We got so many holes to fill on this team right now. And I think it's best player available. And I don't think I want to address the quarterback position this year. I just don't.
You know what? I'm on the board with your thinking, Jim. But you know what?
Unless he's a generational player,
right? But we've had this kind of thought before, and maybe the other way is the right way to do it. Maybe how we see it as Lions fans is just not the way to do it. Because
you might be right, but we did it the other way with Stafford before.
Right.
We picked him number one, and we had no team around him. We never could build a team around him.
Right. So
why
I
don't
don't
we build
know,
the team first this time, because we did it the opposite way before, is all I'm saying.
You know what? I trust the decision. That's what I'm going to say. I trust the decision.
Trust the process. Okay.
Right.
All right. Mm-hmm. PC Payload, he says at least we're better off with the cap than the rest of the NFC North. That's a good point. Much better now that Aaron Jones is signed back with Green Bay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sure, we're probably bargain shopping this year, but I'll bet there are a couple of gems that we can acquire this year. I think this year personally is going to be a year that we have very under the radar players that we're signed to not expensive contracts. I just think that we're trying to field the team, but we're trying to get people with grit. We're trying to get people that'll play it the Lions way instead of, the Patriot way and all the other people's way. I think we want to get some people that'll bite some kneecaps for Dan Campbell. I think that's what we're going after.
Yeah. I mean,
Go ahead.
Oh, you go, Kurt. My bad.
No, you go ahead.
Okay, I forgot what I was going to say now. I was so apologetic and generous, brother, but go ahead, Kurt.
With the signing of Jones up in Green Bay, what does that do to their other running back, Jamal Williams?
True.
That's a guy who could be available, and that's a guy, because he doesn't have starter numbers, but he has starter ability.
So is running back really a need?
Running back by committee.
I hate to say this. We could address this with an undrafted free agent.
Yeah, you can. But I was just saying, like, you look at that type of player. That's the type of, I like his game. That's all I'm saying. I'm just like, but
no, I agree
talking about the NFC North, what I'm saying? That's, now because the salary cap is going to make him expendable because of the fact that you already have the younger guy up there under contract and you have Aaron Jones to sign. So that's going to make him Williams kind of expendable because they can't afford to pay him.
I mean, right now we have three wide receivers. I don't see a number one yet. So we need to invest in that. I don't see where we have the defensive line help that we need, although we have not cut some people I thought we might cut yet. Yes.
We still got a couple of days.
Danny Shelton's still on the team. So I don't think that's a big hole that we need to fill right now. That linebacker, the linebacker position, we need to fill some holes there.
Position.
Linebacker
even safety, I think we have a hole there. I don't like Will Harris very much. I mean, I don't know what you guys think, but I think we need to upgrade Will Harris.
I don't know. It depends. It depends on
a corner or two, I think.
Yeah.
There's some things that we need before running back.
All right. Next one we have G. Lamont Leonard. He got an OG in all right. Trey Flowers might be next on the chopping block. If they can't restructure his deal, if they can restructure his deal, he may be safe. Goff and Big V are restructured candidates. I don't see the Lions releasing Trey Flowers.
I don't either.
Restructure maybe, but to release him, to cut Trey Flowers?
Nah.
I don't see it. Now, you know that you may know something. You may know something that we don't know, but I just don't see the Lions getting rid of Trey Flowers.
I hate to say this, but this was the worst defense in history, I think, of the Lions last year.
It was record breaking.
I don't think anyone can have merit from last year on that defense. I don't care who it is. No one on that defense should be safe, except the rookies and the young players. I think it was a terrible defense. It was probably more the terrible scheme.
Yes, it was. It was.
But Trey Flowers is a player that can stop the run. He can actually go in and do a tackle position. You can move him around a little bit. He's versatile.
Yeah.
And so I keep the versatility. I do try to restructure his contract. I do try to ask for money back from Big V, because he kind of stole some money last year. So.
Your big self, Big V. No, I think Trey Flowers is safe, but he just. He has to restructure. I can't even front. Let's go on to Lord Sir James. Where did he get these names from, man?
Lord
Sir. And with a C too.
Name. Oh.
Lord Sir James. Field is a great talent. If we can get him in the rest of the draft, all defense. I can't agree with that because we're missing wide receivers, and we need another running back. So if we, I personally would like a wide receiver for that one position. It has to be in that second to third round ish, wide receiver. Then maybe in the sixth round, fifth or sixth round, or maybe a running back, or maybe undrafted free agent. So we can't go all defense. That was like last year. We need defense. I hated that saying so much. But Lord Sir James, I do feel you. Fields is a great quarterback. I think he'll be good. I just don't know if we can go all defense, Jim. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. I think we have too many needs. I think wide receiver is a big need. But I think wide receiver is becoming more, and I said this on this show before, but I think wide receiver is becoming like the running back position. And I think you're going to start seeing that it is not going to be a position where you start paying a load of money to anymore. I think the contracts are going to go down over time. And I think that they're a dime a dozen right now. Everybody's in high school and college. They all want to play wide receiver. They all want to be a diva. They all want to, play, the cornerbacks that can catch. All turn to wide receivers. Isn't that true, Mike?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. I think they just, it's just, oh man, it's a tough position because we all know we need defense, but you just can't ignore the offensive, because if you do that, then you'll be on the side where, oh man, if we just had a receiver or a extra running, so you just can't. You have to drive balance. I know what he's saying because the defense was so horrible last year, but I think it was mostly scheme. I think that defense could have been somewhere like the 20th ranked defense if the scheme was just a simple 4-3. Guys running around confused and didn't know where they were going, or you know what I'm saying? And they're backpedaling, because you can't backpedal in the NFL. You got to turn and run. And I think they were backpedaling because they were confused, and it was a catastrophe, man. What do you think, Curt?
You have to kind of, to me, best player available. Type of and then that Fields needs. But I think about Justin Fields, and I've said this on the show plenty of times, and I will stick to my guns. I know it's a stereotype. I don't care. I do not trust quarterbacks from two schools, Alabama and Ohio State. Don't trust them. It's just proven they haven't had great careers in the NFL. You tell me I think the last Alabama quarterback to make it to a Super Bowl was Joe Namath. Okay, I mean, we was going back, because they, Kenny Stabler, you know what I'm saying? Those guys were the great quarterbacks out of Alabama that made it great in the pros. And I can't remember an Ohio State quarterback ever leading the team to the playoffs.
We've had a few of them, quite a few of them actually.
I mean, but we're talking about older, maybe, but I'm talking about like current generation of, these Ohio State quarterbacks that they have. this haven't been very good in the NFL.
I mean,
I just don't do it. That's just me. Now that's, I'm not, y'all can trash me or whatever and say I'm crazy or whatever, but
all right, I'll do that next show. No, I'm just kidding.
That's the eyeball test. That's the eyeball test for me for Ohio State quarterbacks in the NFL.
But you know what? If you did that, see, I'm just against doing that, because if they did that for the Oregon quarterbacks, and Justin Herbert wouldn't have got drafted, because they're like, so I evaluate the player and we see the tools that he has. I won't judge him on past talent, or what they've done in the NFL. So, because like everybody's like, Trey Lance is going to be great because Carson Wentz had a good year, but Trey Lance could be a bust.
Yeah, but see, you also have to look at the system. So if the system is producing terrible quarterbacks and they're in that system and they succeed, but they get to the NFL and that system just doesn't, they're not in that system anymore.
Yeah.
So is it a system quarterback, or is it a quarterback that has the talent to be able to run different systems in the NFL?
Right. Yeah, and that's my thing. I think they're great system quarterbacks and they fit great in a college scheme that they're in, but does it transfer to the NFL level? But that's all I'm saying. That's just me. And I have my own quirky thinking about some of that stuff, but that's just me.
One of the things that I think we need to caution everybody is we have 6 draft picks. We may get more if we trade back. We may trade some players and get more picks. My thing is, this is not a 1-year rebuild, retool, build, whatever you want to call it. We're not going to fix all these holes in 1 year. We're going to have stopgaps at a couple of different positions. These aren't going to be great players. They'll be gritty. They'll be tough. We'll be competing every game. But the Pistons, they compete every game, but they still lose.
Right.
There's a difference between being competitive and being a winner. And we probably won't get a winner here until 2023, 2024, somewhere in there. And
but I wouldn't be mad if, I know this won't happen, but I wouldn't be mad if we didn't sign any free agents and we just kept all our draft picks.
I wouldn't be mad either, but we've cut so many people. We need to fill those spots. We got to have a roster.
Right. Does anybody know how deep the roster is right now?
I do not. I know we've cut I'm talking about starters even right now. I mean, we've cut Coleman, we've cut Trufant, and those two. Coleman was a starter. Trufant was kind of a starter when he could play.
And we don't have and then coming up on Wednesday, there's going to be some players that on the roster right now there's not going to be there. Jesse James, got cut. So you're going to have them players. Okwara's not going to be on the roster on Wednesday if they don't sign him to a deal in the next couple of days.
Kenny Golladay too, another starter. So you have to replace those guys.
Marvin,
but I don't think Marvin Jones, Danny Amendola.
So you got to sign some guys.
Yep, exactly. That was my point. That was my point. So now we're going to come to my favorite part of the show. It is the dessert with my man Curt.
All right. So in the interest of some good dessert today, we're going to talk about Drew Brees one more time, right? But it's not what you think, right? In the annals of corporate trolling. Now, one of the best corporate trolls on Twitter is, of course, Wendy's. Wendy's is gangster with a troll. However, we just got a NFL troll for Drew Brees. It is Atlanta. If you look at when Atlanta, when Drew Brees made his announcements, they said, "We thank you, Drew Brees."
Oh yeah.
But we won't miss you. So shout out to Atlanta for the supreme troll of Drew Brees. They thanked him for a good career, but they like, we will not miss you. So
I love it.
Shout out to Atlanta for the excellent troll of Drew Brees. That was a really good, tasty voice. I was like,
I love that.
That's hilarious. Funny.
So now we're going to go to the question of the day. I almost forgot that today. That's fine. The question of the day is, do you believe the Lions are going to have a running game this year? And what I mean by that is, can they get 4 yards per carry? I mean, that's very important. If you're getting 4 yards of carry, you're getting a first down. If you wanted to run the ball all the time, you could get a first down. Are the Lions capable of doing that? Are they building that type of team here? I want you to let me know in the comments what you think about that. And now for the end of the show, doing a little bit something different today. And I'm going to go to final thoughts for Monday and final thoughts for the show today and whatever you want to say. We're going to start with Mike.
Yeah. So, first I want to start off by saying shout out to the Northwest Mounties. We have a defense that's a 4-2-5. I think everybody in Detroit is kind of like, oh no. But we got that 4-2-5 defense, but I'm gonna get that D line tenacious. But I think the Lions will build that running game. I think we're a right tackle away. So in the draft, I wouldn't be surprised if we did trade back and we went into the teens and we picked the right tackle. I think that's very important in Detroit. Everybody wants that run game. Everybody wants it to be, kind of a run dominant team, and Jared Goff needs it to be a run dominant team to succeed. So I like the moves the Detroit Lions are making, and hopefully it continues. How about you, Kurt?
Oh, I'm gonna talk to the people real quick first, because Kurt always ends our show. He's our closer.
Oh yeah, forget Kurt's you, Kurt.
So I want to address today the support that we get from each and every one of you. Really appreciate you guys showing up in the premieres. Appreciate you guys checking out the videos, liking the videos, sharing the videos. Really appreciate each and every one of you for that. But I think for me, this whole off season has been, what are they going to do next? What kind of regime is this? And we're trying to find out what Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes are doing, but I think they're so down to earth. I think Dan Campbell gives us everything. When he does a press conference, listen carefully, because he will give away the farm when he's talking. So you just need to pay attention to what they're doing and what they're saying. I'm not so sure Trey Lance is a smokescreen. I'm not sure it is. I haven't seen anything deceptive out of either one of our people so far. I think they're very transparent and they tell the truth. Could be a good thing, could be a bad thing, but I like it. I think it's refreshing here in Detroit. Yeah. All right, Kurt, I'm going to throw it to you to close out the show. As usual, the closer, Kurt Steele.
All right. So you know what it is. So I think about what we're talking about today, and I look at what Deuce Staley had to say, and I'm excited and energized about him rebuilding the running game. And I'm also excited about him being the assistant head coach as well, taking some of those duties and responsibilities off of Dan Campbell's shoulders. And I think that really, I don't think that Deuce is going to be here quite as long as we maybe expect, because of the fact that he's one of those guys who's going to be a head coaching candidate for real soon in the NFL. So
he has quite a mind. Tell you that.
He does, and you listen to him talk. You look at how he does things, and I'm really excited about what he's going to bring to Detroit's coaching staff. Now, everyone, you know who we are. We are Detroit Lions on the Prowl, your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors. And welcome to what it is actually the start of free agency frenzy. The legal tampering period starts today at 12 p.m. You're going to have some deals coming out that people can agree to deals starting today at noon, and you're going to see it. So stay tuned. It's going to be some big news coming out across the NFL, and especially right here for the Detroit Lions. So as you go about your day, be excited. We're going to have some great news coming up. So catch us right here, 11 a.m. for our premiere. So, and as always, join the family. Subscribe to the channel. We don't got fans. We don't got viewers. We got family. And it's all love right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl. You can go over and check out the audio version of this show over on bellyupsports.com. You can check us out over there. They have a ton of different podcasts and writers galore, tons of sports content over there on bellyupsports.com. And you can listen to the show on what? Skull Candy headphones. You can purchase some Skull Candies on the link in the description. Get some good deals, and a portion of the sales from that link go to help us grow the content on this show. Now, you're going about your day. It is Monday. So, you know you need a little extra motivation. So, whatever you do, you got to boss up, all out, and be the best version of you that you can be. For my man Jim and Mike, right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl, this is Curt Steele, and we will holler at you real soon.